In this section, we will learn about what the Watson Tone Analyzer service is and how the service works, the different types of tone, and lastly, we will look at some of the uses for the service. The Watson Tone Analyzer service allows you to detect the emotional, social, and language tones of documents that are passed to the service. This allows you to understand how your text is perceived by a reader and change it if necessary to portray a more appropriate response. For example, maybe you find out that an email you wrote comes off as more angry than you intended, so you go back and you edit the email to be more friendly sounding. Using the service, you can choose to analyze the overall tone of the entire document or take a closer look at a sentence-by-sentence view and see what individual phrases could be rewritten. This service can be accessed through HTTP calls or through the Watson SDKs, which are available in many languages including Java, Node.js, Python, and more. The first and most common analysis from the service is the emotion analysis. Tone Analyzer will detect a presence of either anger, disgust, fear, joy, or sadness. As mentioned before, this analysis could be useful for seeing how your emails or chat messages are perceived by the other party. The next form of analysis is the language style of the document. This analysis will recognize 3 different writing styles: analytical, confident, or tentative. This could be useful to determine if the writing style is appropriate for the kind of document that you are writing. For example, a scholarly article would most likely be more effective if written in a more analytical rather than tentative style, whereas a political speech would be more convincing in a confident style. Lastly, the service also returns how the author is perceived based on the document. This form of analysis will return a common set of personality descriptors known as the Big 5 personality traits. The traits include openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and emotional range. This could be useful if the author would like to portray themselves in a certain manner. For example, an author would like to appear more open and conscientious if writing an appeal to an audience, or if they were writing to convince somebody. And now we're going to go over some of the use cases for Tone Analyzer. In this first use case, Tone Analyzer could be used for social listening. This basically involves monitoring social media to see what the general tone of current events are. This could help prevent controversial social media posts that may seem insensitive if not aware of current events. And for the next use case, in conjunction with a chatbot, you can use the identified tone of a user's input to return a different response. For example, if an incoming message is identified as being angry, the chatbot could return a more apologetic and understanding response. And lastly, the Tone Analyzer could also be used in customer engagement monitoring to detect any inappropriate tones from a customer service agent. For example, you could identify messages from agents that contain angry tones and rewrite the message to contain happier tones.